Recently, Fannie Mae released their home purchase sentiment index. Through the survey, it showed 77% of respondents believe it's a good time to sell. It also confirms what many are sensing. An increasing number of Americans believe that it's a bad time to buy a home. The percentage of those surveyed saying it's a bad time to buy hit 64%, up from 56% last month and 38% last July. The latest HPSI explained this. It says consumers also continue to cite high home prices as the predominant reason for their ongoing and significant divergence in sentiment towards home buying and home selling conditions. While all surveyed segments have expressed greater negativity towards home buying over the last few months, renters who say that they are planning to buy a home in the next few years have demonstrated an even steeper decline in home buying sentiment than homeowners. It's likely that affordability concerns are more greatly affecting those who aspire to be first-time homebuyers than other consumer segments. Let's look closely at the market conditions that impact home affordability. A mortgage payment is determined by the price of a home and the mortgage rate for that loan used to purchase it. Lately, mortgage monthly payments have gone up for buyers for two key reasons. Mortgage rates have increased from 2.65% this past January to 2.9%. Home prices have increased by 15.4% over the last 12 months. Based on these rising factors, a home may be less affordable today, but it doesn't mean it's not affordable. Several weeks ago, Adam Data released their second quarter 2021 U.S. home affordability report, which explained that the major ownership cost of a typical home as a percentage of the average national wage has increased from 22.2% in the second quarter of 2020 to 25.2% in the second quarter of this year. They also went on to explain that still, the latest level is within 28% standard lender preference for how much homeowners should spend on a mortgage payment, home insurance, and property taxes. In the same report, Todd Tita, Chief Product Officer at Adam, confirmed this. He said, average workers across the country can still manage the major expenses of owning a home based on lender standards. It's true that monthly mortgage payments are greater than they were last year, but they're not unaffordable when compared to the last 30 years. While payments have increased dramatically during the several decades span, if we adjust for inflation, today's mortgage payments are 10.7% lower than they were in 1990. What's that mean for you? While you may not get the home buying deal someone you know got last year, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't still try to buy a home. Here are your alternatives of buying and the trade-offs you'll have with each. Alternative 1, I'll rent instead. Some may consider renting as the better option. However, the monthly cost of renting a home is skyrocketing. According to July's national rent report from Apartment List, it stated that so far in 2021, rental prices have grown a staggering 9.2%. To put that in context, in previous years' growth from January to June, it's usually just 2 to 3%. After this month's spike, rents have been pushed well above our expectations of where they would have been had the pandemic not disrupted the market. If you continue to rent, chances are that your rent will keep increasing at a fast pace. That means you could end up spending significantly more of your income on your rental as time goes on, which could make it even harder to save for a home. Alternative number 2, I'll wait it out. Others may consider waiting for another year to pass by and hoping that purchasing a home will be less expensive then. Let's look at that possibility. We've already established that a monthly mortgage payment is determined by the price of the home and the mortgage rate. A lower monthly payment would require one of those two elements to decrease over the next year. However, experts are forecasting the exact opposite. The Mortgage Bankers Association projects mortgage rates will be at 4.2% by the end of next year. The Home Price Expectation Survey, right? It's a survey of over 100 economists, investment strategists, and housing market analysts. They call for home prices to increase by 5.12% in 2022. Based on these projections, let's see the possible impact on a monthly mortgage payment. By waiting until next year, you'd potentially pay more for the home, need a larger down payment, pay a higher mortgage rate, pay an additional $3,696 each year over the life of that mortgage. The bottom line is this. While you may have missed the absolute best time to buy a home, waiting any longer may not make sense. Mark Fleming, the chief economist at First American, said it best. He said, affordability is likely to worsen before it improves. So try to buy it now, if you can find it. If you have any questions about the market and that data, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to sit down with you and we can run it over and look at rent versus buy and figure out what the best investment for you is.